Okay, so that's 60 minutes. Star Tours is 55. Space Mountain's an hour and 20. Like, the lines here are just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna wait in that right now. I just don't want to. I want to ride Indy and Star Tours and Space Mountain before I leave, but I also want to go and get on Radiator Springs Racers and maybe hop on the credit coaster again at night. So I think I'm gonna head over to Matterhorn because I know it has a single rider line, and I'm gonna go back over to DCA and ride a couple rides there, and then I guess finish the day here. But hey, the crowds here are just unreal. Fantasyland looks so nice, and it's always so cool and breezy over here. And it's partially because of this sort of, I guess you can call it terraforming that Disney does. I learned during the 50th year anniversary, when they have their little History of Disney display, that they put certain types of vegetation and build the buildings in a certain way, so that it can even create microclimates. Like Adventureland, they try to make it all muggy, and Tomorrowland feels a bit like a desert. And it's always cool and windy in Fantasyland. It's a pretty warm day, and it's actually pretty chilly. Not chilly, but it's cool. And over here, oh, it's warm right here. But I guess to make it feel like the snowy Alps, or whatever. And I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool. If you haven't seen this before, or never heard of this before. So, if you look at the bricks down here, they're pretty large. You see, zoom in, turn up my screen a little bit so I can see this right. So those are pretty big. And as you go up, they get smaller. And smaller. So that when you're looking at the castle from afar, it appears to look larger than it actually is, and it appears to tower over the ground below because it's an optical illusion. Yeah, Cinderella's castle. There's Matterhorn Mountain. Now, Matterhorn it's so rough it borders unpleasant. It makes something like Demon or Viper actually feel pretty smooth. But the thing about Matterhorn is it's very important to the coaster industry. It's a historical icon because it was the first tubular steel roller coaster. Walt Disney wanted a ride themed to bobsledding, but the current coaster technology at the time, wooden tracks and things, he felt it wouldn't fit into the theme very well. So contracted Arrows to actually build a special type of rail, so not detract from the whole bobsledding theme. And I think it actually works out pretty well. It just happens to be extremely bumpy and awkwardly profiled. But if it wasn't for rides like Matterhorn Mountain, Matterhorn bobsleds here, you wouldn't have something like Viper or X2 or even any of the modern B&Ms or Vekomas or Mocs or Gerstlauer or anything with tubular steel rails for the matter. Disney doesn't really seem to be tripping so much about filming on the ride, so maybe I'll try to get a POV video of Matterhorn and show you how bumpy this thing really is. standing in line for is Matterhorn Bobsleds, the classical, iconic Disney coaster with my single rider pass here. They do have a single rider line. This coaster is iconic because as you see there, that is the original tubular steel coaster track that preceded all of the really mega coasters of today. Without this ride, you wouldn't have things like every B&M that everyone loves and mocks and Gerstlauers like Hang Time and all that. They all started because of this thing. Walt Disney wanted a bobsled themed coaster, but the current track types at the time that were available thought it would detract from the theme. So he commissioned Aero Development to build a new track type that could run these bobsled type cars on it, and that was the tubular steel rails. And of course, it evolved into the monsters that we have today, like Six Flags and Cedar Fair Parks and other park chains. Here we go, Matterhorn. Woo. This thing is jerky and bumpy, but it's kind of fast. There it goes. Alright, so that was the Matterhorn. That was my attempt at a point of view video. As you can see, it's quite bumpy and shaky. So anyone who says X2 is shaky, go ride this thing. But yeah, that's an Aero for you. Bumpy, it's really rough. It's kind of uncomfortable, but it's still a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go have fun with this thing. Catch you guys later. I've never been on one of these bobsled coasters, and they have one here. It's very unfortunate Volcano's closed. It makes me very angry, sorta. But it's just another reason to come back next year. It'll be great condition next year when they're done doing whatever they're doing to it, which from what I can see right now appears to be nothing. But we have the Avalanche bobsleds here. The line's very short, so I'm definitely up for seeing what these are like. I saw Intimidator running. I'm making my way over toward it. I can't wait. Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Wow, 3.4 Gs.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your ride. Step out carefully to your left, collecting any loose articles. Walk down the exit ramp and enjoy the rest of your day here at King's Dominion. Ride on. Welcome to the Avalanche. For your safety, face forward, remain seated, and keep your arms, hands, and feet inside the ride at all times. An operator is coming to check your lap bar. At this time, push up on your lap bar to confirm that it is locked. Anyone having difficulty with their lap bar should notify a ride operator. Sit up.
I just went on my first ever ride on one of these bobsled coasters, and I was actually surprised. So on the sign it says it pulls about 3.6 Gs, and you do feel that in the turns. I thought it just kind of meandered around the turns a little bit, you know, but no, it really presses you into the seat, and that it's kind of weird because the floor moves independently from the seat, so it gives you an extra bit of sensation. But and it gets a little bit of, it's not really super intense, but there's a little bit of intensity toward the end, and like a little pop of floater or ejector. I guess it seems like it's going to jump off the track pretty much, but yeah, a very good ride. The line's getting a little long, so I'm not going to get back in line. I was going to get a front row ride. I rode in the back. It was pretty wild, so I definitely recommend Avalanche. If you can get down and ride one of these rare bobsled coaster credits, you should go ahead and get down here and do so. Anyway, I will see you guys later.